Okay, there we go. Now we're live. Hello, everybody. I'm Sally, and I'm here with my co host, Amanda of the Aligned Business Summit. And so we're really excited today because not only have we got two other incredible guests, we've got Crystal and Linda Joy, but they are both from Australia. And so this gives us an opportunity to be in the evening. Well, I'm in the east coast of Canada. Amanda's in Mexico. So what an international group we've got today. Yay! This is so fun. So I know it's very early for both Crystal and Linda. So thank you both for popping on with us today. But I thought we would start with Amanda, just sort of giving an overview of why we decided to host this Aligned Business Summit and who is it really designed for?
Well, we decided to put it together because Sally and I have been through our own journey to discover what an aligned business really is. We've both done corporate backgrounds, we've both done sales, all kinds of different things. But we're at an age now where we really want to discover what makes us happy and to get paid to do what we love. And what we've discovered is when you're really aligned with who you are, being authentic, putting those boundaries in place and just really going for it and taking something that you're passionate about and turning it into profit. So what the Aligned Business Summit is here to do, we have 18 speakers that have all gone through their own journey, and they want you to avoid those mistakes that they've all made. So they're going to share their wisdom, their tactics, and we have everything from publishing through to burnout and also marketing, which I know for many of us out there in the aligned business space is a little bit of a challenge. So we put this together to make sure that you have all the tools emotionally and tactically to make sure that your last quarter this year goes out with a bang. So we're here to support you. We have a beautiful workbook that's going to guide you through the summit so you can write things down, because taking action is the key. It's lovely to come to these summits, but if you don't take the action and implement it, then what we're doing is being lost, and we know that you're going to take action. So that will be available to you as well. And I'm going to hand back over to Sally now dates for the conference is the 24th of October. Very important. Next Tuesday to Thursday, and we'll be kicking off at 10:45 EST and going through to 4 p.m. EST. So 3 days packed full of all this information that you can apply right now to change you and your business right now to get more cash flow, clients, and confidence. Anything else that I've missed, Sally?
Well, I think the one thing that I want to add to that is that it's really designed for heart-centered female entrepreneurs. And so all of us in this video right now, we are all from that genre. We're all working in heart-centered businesses, and that's why we're really passionate, not only about what we do, but who we get to work with. And we've seen, all of us have been around for a while in our businesses, and we've seen so many people stepping into these businesses like us that are heart-centered and really struggling to have that success that they really desire. And so this is why the conference is, aligned with all of us from a heart-centered perspective, because we know the things that we've been through in our businesses, we can share those tips, we can share the strategies, we can share the ideas that have helped us to really align with who we truly are, but create that business that's successful. So I think that's what really drew me to this when Amanda and I started talking about it, is like, who is it that we really want to make an impact for? And I've seen, since I came into the business around end of 2019, early 2020, I've seen so many people step into this now. And it's fabulous because we need this energy. We need this change. We need you in the world sharing your gift. And so I know there's so many people that are in the earlier stages, like I was a few years ago. Linda's been in the business like this for 30 some odd years. So can you imagine the genius zones that she's got to share with us? And Crystal, I don't even know how long you've been in your business, but I'm sure, why don't you just tell us a little bit about how long you've been in the business?
Yeah, so absolutely. So I'm a serial entrepreneur. So I've started my life coaching business in 2008. And before that, I was in theater, which still was doing my own thing. And, I'm technically unemployable in corporate. That's what I've discovered and realized. So even if my business wasn't going to work, I just have to make something work. But the publishing, the hybrid publishing with Healer House Publishing that I do now has been going for coming up to 4 years in February.
Nice. That's awesome. Well, thank you. So you're around the same, like I'm 4, 5, 6 years now in my business. But a serial entrepreneur that shifted from place to place isn't unhirable, but it's a choice to not be hireable. Because
Yes.
you do have skills and you do have a lot that people would love to have you on their team, but you're making a conscious choice of who you truly want to show up as and who you truly want to serve. And so I love that part about you. So thank you for joining us today. So Linda, why don't we start with you and tell us a little bit about what attracted you to the summit, and then what is it that you're going to be sharing with our guests?
Yes. So what attracted me to the summit is aligned business is exactly what we're all here to do, to make an impact in the world, to help others, and to all align and sync up together and collaborate and support each other. So bringing together, and thank you, Sally and Amanda, for bringing us all together, and so many amazing business owners and souls around the world to share their gifts and to share from their heart to help other business owners. Because when especially the heart centered, that means that you are operating from your heart, from your soul, with integrity, authentic and genuine, and you really care about the other person and to help them. And we're all helping each other, just it's everyone's at different levels, so it's like, yeah, you just keep moving up and helping each other to climb that ladder. So it's like a global team, and I know that you brought so many beautiful global people together around the world. So
We actually have, and that's pretty exciting for me because previously in my corporate career, it was localized to basically Canada, because that's where the organization, although my organization was global, it was really, I only was present or allowed to be present really within my local Canadian organization. So for me, stepping into this business too, and Amanda and I met a few months ago. She's from the UK. My parents were from the UK. I'm from Canada. She's living in Mexico. It's like, how did I even get to connect with her? It would never have happened before. And so I talk about this all the time to my husband. He probably thinks I'm cuckoo, but I love meeting people from all over the world in my business. And so this is another thing that really excites me, is because we as heart-centered entrepreneurs have made our world so small, but so incredible, because everybody that we meet has a story, has a vision, and has a purpose as to why they're doing what they're doing. And it's all heart-centered. And I just feel so grateful that I chose to step into this arena so that I could attract this. And this has just been a bonus. I never expected this. Honestly, I never did. And so for us to have 18 speakers from across the globe, it's so exciting. And the content, I've seen and heard some of the content already, and it's like, oh, it's going to blow your mind.
They don't know what's coming, Sally, do they? And also it's the community that we're building. Yes. And many of us are very conscious of energy. We've got the logical, tactical marketing stuff. But when our energy is aligned, and when we've got those 18 speakers, but quite a few of attendees as well, that we're all together listening, intent, and putting our energy together, we're creating an imprint. And we've created a movement, a community, and we're going to continue to grow that so that everyone gets support. And we all have gifts, and I know many of us have gone through that journey of imposter syndrome as well. We are givers, we have certain gifts, and it hasn't always been easy for us to share that publicly and to be visible. So we're really happy to have created this platform where people can come and speak, where you can share your gifts and learn how to communicate your message in a clear and easy way. And the world, like you said, is so much smaller now. So the fact we can do it online and you don't have to leave your living room is even better. We can reach even more people with the message and just push them forward into the light and let them know that they are needed. We are so needed now. And you need to really think of that person who needs you to get you through the marketing challenges, those tactical things that you might be a little bit scared of. We want to make sure by the end of this conference that you are through some of those barriers and out the other side. And we'll all be there to hold your hand and be with you to make sure that you get through to the other side, because you're needed.
And I think there's also a lot of people, like I know Linda, as an example, She and I had a conversation the other day, and there's a lot of our speakers that are going to bring the energetics as far as teaching about that as well, because there are a lot of blocks, even with those of us that are heart-centered. And we are helping other people break through them, but we're not necessarily breaking through our own. And so, Linda, tell us a little bit about what people can expect from your presentation.
So I now specialize for burnout, to stop the burnout cycle, prevent burnout, and also help professionals, high achieving professionals, to prevent burnout. And that's what I coach on. That's what's in my program. So I'm bringing my over 30 years of holistic health and healing and the mind, body, spirit, all the tools from over 30 years into my teaching, my programs, and my coaching, because a lot of people don't realize that they're burnt out. And again, the old program is you have to work hard to achieve, because one of the old programs that I was running from an imprint from my dad in the subconscious was, no one ever gives you anything in life. You have to work for it. I work 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. And so that was an old program running in my subconscious, which caused my burnout. And I was diagnosed with autoimmune and chronic fatigue and adrenal burnout, and then hit rock bottom with depression. So it's not just physically what's happening, but then it affects you emotionally and mentally. And so people who are just, constantly pushing themselves to the limit, and I mean, lack of sleep is one of the things, because our bodies aren't made to sustain that high pressure. And there's no medal like, oh, I did an all-nighter, or I did 3 days, without sleep. It's like, what are you doing? So it's not something to be proud of. So that's, I speak to the individual, find out where they're at, and especially find out what the root cause is, what's draining their energy, because what my whole goal is, so the individual can jump out of bed and go, wow, I feel fantastic. I love my life. I have the best life. And from that place of alignment, they're operating from their soul's mission on why they truly came here to do what they truly love and serving in the world. And so when you're operating from this high energy, that energy vibration, that frequency, then you're going to attract all the positive things, people, situations, circumstances in your life on a daily basis. But if you're operating, from exhaustion and burnout and just like struggling to get out of bed, it's like, stop. Stop that cycle. And that's where I go much deeper into finding out what are their habits and what is draining their energy. Is it physically, emotionally, mentally, energetically, or spiritually? And we work on all those levels. So yeah,
that's awesome. And just as you're talking about that, I'm thinking at this time of the year, as we're heading into the holiday season and the end of year pressures and the deadlines and the goals that everybody has on themselves, or that corporates put on people that are listening from the corporate world, it can be really, really stressful and cause a lot of burnout going into this season. And I actually had an experience in my corporate world where, the last month of the year, we had certain goals we had to hit, and I was working all day and then doing appointments at night with my team members that needed my support, and got to the point where my husband was working out of town, and my son and I flew out to go and see him where he was for Christmas. And I became so physically ill because I pushed myself so hard for the corporation and to get to the numbers that they wanted. And so my 2-week holiday with my husband, who I hadn't seen in a few months, and my son, I was sick the whole time, and sicker than I'd been forever. And so that was another wake-up call for me about, who am I doing this for? why am I killing myself? And I did have that burnout, but it metastasized right away into illness. And it was just that exhaustion that kicked in. But this is what a lot of people do at this time of the year. So
Yeah.
I'm really excited that you're going to be speaking along these lines for all of the people that are coming to the event, because this is a time when, I know in the US with the Thanksgiving coming up in November and into the Christmas and holiday season, a lot of family things pop up too. And that's all part of that stressor. So I'm excited about having you on the camera, having you talk about it, because it affects everybody in some way, shape, or form. And recognizing it is the first stage to adjusting it. So, and we know that you have the tools to help them with that. So thank you.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah,
now,
my pleasure.
Crystal, tell us all about why you chose to come into the summit as well. And then what is it that you're going to be sharing with the group? Because I have an inkling that this is going to be a really fun one.
Thank you. Yeah, firstly, thank you for having me and organizing this summit, because you've already said so many vital things that we as heart-centered, soul-led entrepreneurs need to take into consideration. And the reason I joined was really, it was Amanda. Like, we met a couple of months ago as well, and there was just a real connection of an alignment in how we approach life and business. And it was from that, it could have named it anything. It's like whatever, because I felt that alignment with Amanda. It's like, yeah, I'm in. And it's beautiful that it is called the Aligned Business Summit, because one thing I have learned and discovered in these years of being in this entrepreneurial space is that there are so many shiny objects. And what works for one person does not necessarily work for another, because it's not in alignment. And yet, because as business owners, we sometimes are so vulnerable and we really want to achieve something so badly that we tap into our inner wounding, and we are into our programming, so that we say yes to something that is not in alignment because we're getting promised something that we really, really want. Yes. And so I feel like that's something that I'm sure, I'm not talking about it in the summit, but it came up for me right now. And it's something that I've experienced many times, seen other people go through and have some hard lessons to learn about spending lots and lots of money and then it doesn't work.
Yes.
So I think the bringing awareness to the fact that we must be aligned to how we do our business, and as Bashar says, follow our joy, our passion, is becoming more and more important as the energies rise on the planet. We can no longer get away with the old way of doing business and just pushing. And so I think you both and Linda Joy and myself, we're all here being aware of this and sharing this and bringing awareness to it. So yeah, so in terms of my talk, it's such a fascinating, I feel like coming into publishing, as I've mentioned, I'm coming from a coaching background. I used to take retreats to Egypt, and this all ended when most people woke up. I finished in 2019 when most people had their awakening and came into it. This is when I changed due to whatever was going on in my life. So what I'm bringing to the publishing world and the way I'm doing it is this intersection of strategy and intuition. And I really position myself in that place, because if it's not aligned, then we might not even write it. So the way I work and what I'm bringing into my talk as well as, so the talk is called How to Use a Book to Catapult Your Business and your credibility, your clients, and your bank account in this beautiful aligned way, not just with strategies that some guru might have come up with, but from this really deeply embodied place.
That's beautiful. I think that as you're saying this, I'm just going to say out loud what's hitting for me. And it's like, we need to get some of the people from this group together and create a book about an aligned business. So that's just something that hit me intuitively. So I'm going to bring it forward. Because we could have everybody do a chapter or whatever. I don't know. But anyways, that was just something that hit me intuitively. So I wanted to share it. But I think that, what you're saying a number of times in here is that alignment in the business with your energy, with your intuition, is the critical piece of success. And when you're in alignment, you feel it. When you're in touching with your intuition, it feels right. It was intuition that when Amanda and I just started talking and said, well, why don't we do a summit? Like, it just came forward. We didn't ask for it. It just came forward. And next thing you know, it was like, okay, we're planning a summit.
Let's do it.
But those are the kinds of things that I think are going to really resonate. And the fact that you're doing books, I think there's so many people that are in these heart-centered businesses that have stories to share, and to bring that light forward for others that are still trying to figure out how to attach to that, how to be able to be in alignment with that light, and how to be able to really tap into their intuition. Because we've been trained as young children to shut down our intuition. And one of the things that I always, in our imagination, because I always think about a child in school and they're in the classroom and they're looking out the window and they're imagining something, right? They're seeing something out there, the fun, the monkey bars, whatever it is, and themselves jumping on it. Crystal, pay attention. And we stop it intentionally now, and we train them not to go down that path anymore. And this is what we get to do, is bring all of the essence back of everybody that's going to be attending the summit, to really tap back into that and to be in alignment with their visions, their intuition, their imagination. And that's where everything magical starts to happen, in my opinion.
I had a chat with Crystal. Obviously, we recorded part of her talk, and the one thing that was really lovely, which she mentioned as well, is when people go on that journey, when they work on a book with her, it's not just writing the story. They are going on a journey of self-discovery. When they're writing that book, they're discovering who they are at a deeper level. And sometimes we're not very good at clarifying what our message is. So with Crystal's help, they can go through that journey. And by the time they've co-created that book, they're very clear on who they are, what they want, who they need to serve. And the message is a lot clearer, because we're sometimes that information is everywhere. And that book really helps you get everything into an order that is clear and gets that message across to people. But they also gain that extra benefit of becoming that person that they wanted to be, and through that process with Crystal.
I couldn't have said it better. Thank you, Amanda.
That's awesome. I can't wait to listen to the conversation. It's like, I haven't heard them all. So I need to get in touch with them. I've recorded Linda's. And the reason we recorded Linda, Joy, and Crystal was because of the time zones in which we didn't want them to be there at 1 o'clock in the morning to have to give a presentation where their energy was lower and they should be sleeping. So we've recorded them, but they're going to pop in when they can throughout the few days that we have the conferences or the summit as well. So that's going to be exciting. And let's switch to Amanda now. So Amanda, you are a co-host alongside me. What made you really think about this alongside me? Like, what was the process there? But also, what is it that you're bringing to the forefront for the group that are attending?
Well, I've had a lot of downloads in the last 3 months to really get out there and be visible. And they downloaded a lot of aligned type of information. Just be more visible. And then things started to line up and everything started to speed up. I'm like on 6 summits, and all from going like literally 3 months ago to having dengue and having like a full body upgrade, seriously, and having a lot of time to think about what I'm supposed to be doing, coming out of that, and then just everything sped up into a very aligned fashion because I let go of trying to control everything. I'm a Virgo, so before I was trying to push and do things, and obviously the divine has other ways of letting you know. So after that, everything started to line up, and the right people, places, circumstances, things like Linda say, started to line up. Then I met you, Sally, very, very shortly after that, and I just decided this is I've been using the word alignment for a very long time, but now I need to vocalize it more. I need to show it, and I need to be authentic with it. And all my programs are around being aligned. And with the energy work I do, I channel and I do clinical hypnotherapy and business mentoring. But with that when you're bringing those frequencies in, it shifts the energy in a very short period of time and brings the person as close to alignment as they can take. It heightens the vibration to a point where they can, it's as high as they could go at that particular point in their life. So everything has been built around that, really, and the results that have come from that, and the divine signs that I've been following. And what I'm bringing to the table is the business alignment side. I'm giving away the aligned business checklist. So that's something that I'll be giving away to everybody that comes to the summit. And then those that want a little bit more of a deep dive, then I'm going to do a 20-minute aligned strategy session with them. And again, that's bringing everything that I've learned over the last 26 years. And a lot of knowledge has come through in the last 6 months alone, which again, I'm just implementing myself and passing it down to everybody else. So I feel like my life, this is the first real time I'm in the right place at the right time with the right people, serving the right people, and coming from the highest form of alignment that I possibly can right now. So I'm just delighted to be here. I'm amazed. And when we stand back and go, the summit's next week.
Like, how did that happen?
It's like, oh, it's in 8 weeks, blah, blah. And that's like next week. So traction is there and it's happening. And I'm just, feel so blessed and grateful for all of you, for Sally, for what we're putting together and the energy that we're going to create. So for all of you that are going to attend, come and take some of our energy. We want to give it to you, and we really want the best for you between now and the end of the year and beyond.
So if you haven't already and it feels aligned, go register. The link will be somewhere on this platform here.
It will be in the comments, and it's also on the page here. We also have an event on LinkedIn that has all the access information as well. So you can invite some people there. If you know of anybody that might be interested, invite them to join us. Because I know most of us that are heart-centered have a whole circle of people that are in that same situation that would really benefit from coming. And it's free. It's free. So make sure you attend, because as heart-centered women, we really want to make sure that we're offering this so that there are no barriers. No barriers to coming in. We know that this is what you're going to appreciate. You're going to need this to move forward in your business. Just like each of us have said, it's almost like we've all had a transition in the last little while within our energy, within our intuition, within our alignment. So this is not typical, but I think there's a lot of us going through it at the same time. So why not supercharge it by getting together with 18 other people, all at a high energy, all aligned with their intuition and their brilliance to come forward and help you to be successful as well.
And also, for those of you that are on a different time zone, 9 o'clock, I think it's 9 o'clock EST tomorrow, isn't it? I think it's 9 o'clock EST tomorrow. I need to double check the time.
It's 10, but I'll look. You keep talking. I'll have a look quickly.
We have another Speakers Connect tomorrow. Sorry, it's not Speakers Connect. We're connecting you with the speakers of the summit, where you can meet some more people that are going to be speaking next week, because everybody's on different time zones. So we'll have a couple of people from the UK. We have a couple of people from the States. Obviously a couple of people from Mexico, and so they will be joining us. I believe, is it 9 a.m.
Eastern time?
10 a.m. Eastern. So it's 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock. I'm in Central time, but in 2 weeks I'll be on EST, and my life will be so much easier, because when I'm on Central, the whole world and Calendly and everything goes to pot. Google Calendar. I understand that Cancun does not change. Anyway, so 10 o'clock tomorrow EST. We'll have more fun, more questions, and more secrets being revealed tomorrow with the rest of our speakers, if you can make it. And everything is on our event page. So go to the LinkedIn event page and we will post the details there.
Excellent. Well, thank you, Linda. Thank you, Crystal and Amanda, for joining me this evening. It's been an absolute pleasure, and have a great morning, the two of you. Amanda and I are going ahead. Take care.
Happy Friday.
Bye.
Yes, thanks for having us. Bye-bye.
Bye.